Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have said before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations. So in the future, when you've experienced all this, right, the blessings and the curse or the curses, and you've end up probably having been, taken out and put into some other land, as it says, among all the nations. But in the future, if it comes to your mind that you turn back, right, as it says, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice. And this was like a it was like Moses saying this is what would happen in the future if you do this, but it was also like a prophecy, because that a lot of the things he mentioned here are actually prophetic, right, that are actually playing out now and will play out, further further on into the future, right, as he mentions here that when we get to the point where we would turn back and obey the voice of the Lord, right, repent and turn back to the Lord, according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, meaning he's going to take us out of captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. And that's happening now, right? We're now actually at a point where we've experienced the blessings, which we did, for a bit in different points in our history. And we've definitely experienced the curses up until the extremist point of it. And now a remnant of us is turning back to the Lord. And what is that going to lead to? That's going to lead to the Lord sending Yahweh Shai back, first gathering us with this word, but then physically by sending Yahweh Shai back, right, to turn our captivity, to return us out of captivity, and to gather us from all nations whither the Lord has scattered us. If any of thine be driven out onto the outmost parts of heaven, from meaning onto the furthest parts of the earth, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee, right? And that's why it says from all four corners of the earth. That's where he's going to gather his remnant from. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, which is the land of Israel, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and will multiply thee above thy fathers. And that's what's getting ready to happen soon. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. So how is the Lord going to circumcise our heart? That's synonymous with the fulfillment of the second covenant, where he gives us a new heart, okay, one that is going to be righteous, right? And likewise, the heart of our seed, meaning all of our offspring, would be automatically righteous. And that heart is going to make us, as it says, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart. So perfectly. That's when we're going to be made perfect, right? With all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies. And that's when he takes them off of us. But when is that going to happen? In these last days, right? When the Lord comes to deliver us. And then he flips, right, the narrative. He flips the script. And now the blessings come upon us, and the curses come upon what? Our enemies. And on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And the first, number one, is going to be Esau, Edom, followed by the rest of these nations. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle. And the scriptures mention that, right, that one shall be a nation. So this is when the blessings will start to come upon us again, right, and flourish. And this would be as we enter the eternal glory, the kingdom. In the fruit of thy body, which are our children, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land, for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. See, so it was, if you listen, the blessings would happen. If you don't, the curses will happen. But in the last days, when you decide to turn back to the Lord, eventually this is what it's going to lead to. And the Lord is going to change you and deliver you, and he's going to be happy to bless you again. If thou hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, for this commandment which the Lord, or which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far from thee. So as Moses said, these instructions, I haven't hidden them somewhere. I haven't thrown it super far away where it's inaccessible to you. It's not in heaven that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it on to us, that we may hear it and do it? Oh, we would do it, but it's all the way in heaven. We don't have anybody to go and get it for us, so you got to pardon us. Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very nigh unto thee. It's near. In fact, it's so close, it's so nigh unto thee, it's in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. Right? You know it. You've read it, you've pronounced it. So you know what it is. There's no excuse. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. And the life is the obedience, and the good is the blessings. And the death is the disobedience, and the evil are the curses. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord Yahweh thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. So if you remain obedient and you follow the ways of the Lord, you will be blessed. All right? But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them. So if your mind goes astray, and instead of obeying and being obedient, you decide, no, you're going to go serve other gods, I denounce unto you this day. So I decree, I vow unto you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land. You're going to be quickly destroyed, and you're not going to last long upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. That same land that you're crossing the Jordan now to go and possess, if you disobey the Lord, you will not last long on that land. I call heaven and earth to record or record this day against you, i.e. to bear witness against you this day. And why? Because heaven and earth are always there. So if you came back 10 generations later, they were there 10 generations ago, and they're there 10 generations later. And they can testify and say, yes, we remember when Moses said such and such to them. That I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life and the strength of thy days. See, the way you live prosperously is through the Lord, through obeying him. You living long upon the earth is through the Lord and obeying him. That thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. And the reason Moses is admonishing them so much is because he's not going to be there. He's about to die. So he's trying to get it through their heads. Like, it's like, I know you're going to be disobedient, but at least let me do the best that I can to have told you everything, warned you, prepared you the best as I could. The rest, well, that's between you and the Lord. And that brings us to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodesh. Until next time, Shalom.